All right, welcome back to Alkaline TV. This is Douglas Dennis, the Alkaline Life Coach. Today I'm just dabbling in some Dogecoin, and we've got the Doge US dollar chart right here. And I'm looking at this on TradingView. You can get TradingView for free. You can also pay for it. I have the pro version, even though I don't know if I'm a pro or not. But I have been studying Elliott Waves for only about 4 years. Most of the stuff on my channel I talk about I've been doing for 10 years or longer. And I'm not a licensed financial advisor or anything. I'm just interested in this and interested in talking about it. So if you want to see some information, make sure to do your own research, and if you're going to speculate, which is basically gambling, do so at your own risk. To me, this is not necessarily investing, because what's the underlying asset of Dogecoin? A digital blip on a chip somewhere? I don't know if I care about that. I'm just trying to have some fun and test my skills and see if I can make some money while doing it. So this is the 1 minute chart. You can pick your time frames here. You can see which ones I have starred, because those are the ones I look at pretty much. But you could, so basically, you want to start with the weekly. And oh my gosh, look at this. It's barely even, it's a baby. It's only been listed this long on here. Wow. Okay, so let me get rid of that for the moment. Okay, so here we have the chart, the weekly chart. Wow. We've got one wave up, one wave down, and another wave up. And what's going on here? Let's go to the daily. Okay, we can see a little bit better. So we've got this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5 waves up. If you look at that tiny little one, that looks like it was 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this 5 wave didn't make it all the way. And then this is the correction. So that went on for February until April, and then wham! Wow. So let's look at the 4 hour. All right, now we're starting to see what's going on. Now, see how these lines, these are the EMA. If you double click, it should pop up, but it isn't. I've got this is the Fibonacci Ema Wave 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. So this is the 13, this is the 21, this is the 34, this is the 55, this is the 89, and this is the 144. So this is the average of it 4 hours ago. So if we change it to the 1 hour, it would be in hours. So this is the average from 144 hours ago. This is the average from 89, the last 89 hours. This is the average of the last 55, 34, 21, and 13 hours. So these help you, and they'll come into play later. I'm going to move that up. Also, these lines, these 2 lines on the MACD down here, this is called the MACD. I have everything customized to be very bright because I'm colorblind. So I want to be able to easily see what's going on. You can change the color by double clicking. I don't know why it won't work right now. Maybe, I don't know. It's not doing it at the moment. So let's look at this here. Now we've got the 1 hour. Now we can kind of see what's been going on. Here we've got the 5 waves going up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's done. As we can see, that's done and already started correcting. I mean, this is a big, obvious correction. So how far do we think it's going to go? Let's turn this back on. This is my Fibonacci Retracement. Let me bring it in a little more so you can see better the numbers. So this was the size of this wave if we look all the way back. We can just measure this wave, which looks like it probably started about there. That looks like it was the bottom of this, came down about right there. So it started here, but it finally started picking up around here. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, or the, well, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. And as you can see, there are subwaves. Inside that wave 3, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subwaves in that. They're very clear and easy to see in this case. This is a nice clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Now, corrections are not as easy. They're all overlapping. It's hard to count. So I was trying to count this and follow it. What I've been doing, let me show you what I've been doing. I've been trading the 1 minute. Let's go to the 30-minute first so that basically you can see it already dropped right here to the 0.5. So it already lost half of the wave, went down 50%. I have another line right here. Oops, let me drag it up a little. Actually, I want it a little bit above that so that I'll have some time to, if I'm not at my computer. So I have an alarm, an alert set when it crosses this. I have another alert set when it crosses this. I should probably drag this down to here. You can see right there, there's just a little wick. So I brought it down a little just so that I can get the alert quicker. So here are my concerns, these 2 lines. Right above the 0.618, I think it might drop down there. That's what I'm expecting. Or it might go even farther. Let's measure this wave coming down. Now let's see if we put it right there. Look at that. It comes down directly to the 0.786. Okay, so I changed my mind. I think it's going to go to the 0.786. Let me put a box in here to help illustrate my point. Okay then, so that's my buy zone. I already have some, actually. I already bought a little. I mean, nothing that's going to change my life. Just, like I said, I'm speculating. I don't really want to hodl. I don't want to hold the Doge forever. I'm just seeing if I can test my skill with Elliott Waves and make some money. And, you know, if I lose it, it's okay, because it's not that much. So make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. If you're sweating bullets, you're probably using money you shouldn't be using. If you don't use your money for rent or your, you know, something for your health is more important than fake online currency. So that's just my own opinion. But I'm doing it anyway, so just be realistic with yourself, which most people aren't. Okay, so now we're at the 5 minute. Now we can see the little subwaves and all the details here. So I just sold a little bit right there because I've been trading the 1 minute. And as you can see on the RSI, which is called the Relative Strength Index, that's what this is up here. If I double click it, it becomes the whole screen. And you can zoom in and out. So I'm looking at this RSI because it gives you some clues about what's going on. Right here, I could tell to sell, and I sold some up here. And I rebought them there, there, and there as it was tanking. And then I sold it again. I sold a little bit more right there. So I'm just stacking a little bit more and selling it up here and trying to buy them back. I think there's one more, after this giant correction is over, let's go back to the 1 hour. After this big correction right here is over, it's going to rocket again. Now, this could take a long time, but I think it's going to be, I don't know, we'll see how long it takes. These corrections can linger and linger and linger. Like, look at that little correction right there. It peaked, and then it spent a long time consolidating. So this might be wrong right here. It might take longer, and it might stretch out. It might wiggle around for significantly longer. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. But to me, I think from this wave to this wave, this is the A. I think this is the B, and I think this is going to be the C. Corrective waves. Now, it's not always so pretty. Like I keep saying, the corrections are more and more difficult than this just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 easiness. So these are a bit, because there are a bunch of different types of corrections, and there aren't really that many types of impulse waves. There are only a couple. And there's a book called Elliott Wave Theory by Precher, I think is the guy's name. Something like that. It's written by 2 guys, I think Frost and Precher. I might be pronouncing it wrong. It's an old book from maybe 30 years ago or so, but it's fundamentally still, well, Elliott waves work the best in a free market that's not manipulated. That's also something to take into consideration. There's plenty of risks, but a lot of people are making money. Don't just dive in if you don't know anything. What I'm expecting here is 5 more waves down. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to help illustrate that, let me show you. Here we go. Elliott correction wave, impulse wave. This is the top. This was the 1. This was the 2. This was the 3. This was the 4. That was the 5. And you see it went down, 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 and then 1, 2, 3. There's an ABC right after that. A, B, C. Now that's what I think is going on. I won't be 100% until after, in hindsight. But you can still, this will still help you even if it's not exact, it can really be helpful. And now what I'm expecting here is this ABC, 1, 2, 3, this to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like that. That's what I'm expecting for this. Let me delete that. Okay, so if we get rid of all that, We can see what it's like right now. We put it back, we can see what I think will happen. So I'm going to delete this and this, but I'll keep this here for now, and this could still be wave 1 coming down, but it could be done. Let's get in here in the 1 minute. Okay, now we're nice and zoomed in. So now we can see the subwaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was it right there. Now this is wave 2, ABC. Same thing we were looking at in the big picture. It happens inside, it's a fractal. So if you zoom in, and if you zoom in even further, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you go big or go small, the Elliott waves overlap each other, and it's a fractal of themselves. It's fascinating stuff if you're into mathematics at all. I was good at math when I was younger. I'm not totally into it other than stuff like this now. But also, since I'm an artist, I can see the patterns, and I can see the angles and the mathematics, like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Ratios. The ratios and the Fibonacci and everything, it's all very visual and very mathematical, but it's all natural. So these waves exist in nature, and that's how he discovered them. But you can check out the book on Elliott waves to learn more about Elliott waves. So what I'm expecting is for this to tank right about now. Any moment now. This looks like it was done, this ABC right here. Let me label that for you just for fun. My mouse is acting crazy. Probably because my computer has too much of a load while I'm recording this, and I have 8 million different windows open too. So that's the ABC. So this wave came down, this wave came back up. This is the impulse wave down, this was the correction up. Since it's on its way down, I think it's a bearish right now, then the impulses go down. Now when it turns back into bullish, then let's go to the 5 minutes so we can see a little bit more. Now when it goes back bullish, when it goes back over this, it's going to be off to the races. So when this, well, when it goes over this up here, I moved my alert a little lower, but really when it goes over 45 cents, and if it stays up, not if it just blips for a second, but if it stays above 45 cents, it's going to rocket. Another giant wave up. Or, well, it might not be as big as that wave. So let's see, let's get a price prediction for after it rockets back up. Okay, if this was wave 1, well, now this is all going to be a cluster in the way. But if this was wave 1, starting wherever, and then wave 2 ended around here somewhere, this was wave 3, then it definitely could come back to my buy zone. It could come all the way back. It could come all the way back down to like 8, 9 cents. It could. But I think it'll be more like 15 cents or 12 cents. And then the fifth wave, I'm going to have to shrink this down. The fifth wave will go up somewhere like this. And it'll probably be about the same size as this. So well, that to that. Well, I might have accidentally put it exactly at a good spot. We'll see how high it goes, though. It could just peck above. If it goes all the way down and 5 waves are going back up here, if we get a 5 wave like this going back up, you know, it could end like right about 50 cents or so. Actually, 50 cents seems like a good guess, or 55, because it's a nice round, juicy number. But I'm going to, so there might be like a sell. This might be my sell zone up here. If I can try to buy it wherever it lands down here, or it might be done already. This might be done and this might not happen. And it could just pass this up and go to the 5th wave from there, right from here. And then we would measure it from there up. Oops. So I know that that's a lot, but that should give you some good things to look out for, and at least show you how I'm looking at this for myself. So I'm expecting this to, let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay. So if this gets too elongated on TradingView, you can just double click it and it'll like snap it and it'll keep it, like you can zoom in and it'll stay on screen. All right then, what have we got going on here? So, and then keep in mind, this 3rd wave down is also going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subwaves. But the 1 minute is pretty much all I can zoom in. Oh, you can do seconds? Oh, wow. All right, that's crazy. I'll have to check out the seconds on another day. Well, let me look at it just for fun. What have we got going on here? Oh no, it doesn't do the seconds. Does it? No. No, it won't let me. I don't want it listed up there then. All right, well, we see something happening right here. That looks like wave 2. If this was wave 1, this is wave 2. Here's a good spot to short it. If you, if it really is looking like it's going to go down. I'm not exactly sure how that will play out, but there will be. Now I should change the colors of these. For some reason it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that way we can distinguish the subwaves from the. Oh, why? Now, if this really does, I would think it would be more like that. Well, I don't know if that wave 1 is too small. It might not be wave 1. That just might be a subwave. This is going to take some time to play out. This might take until 2 a.m. or something, if it goes according to my... Now, I didn't measure any of this. I just arbitrarily drew it. So from my own, just sometimes my freehand guesses end up pretty accurate. Sometimes they don't. I'm going to delete that because it's just confusing me. But I'm going to delete this too. But I'm waiting for a big drop coming up. And then the wave 4 is going to linger around. And then finally the wave 5 might peck into this. But it might not. Sometimes the wave 5s fail. And it just starts up the next wave. But that's all in that book about Elliott Waves. And the reason I think it's going to tank right here is because these are overlapping. Impulsive waves don't overlap. Like this goes up, comes down, up, down. It didn't come all the way down past that. It's just down to there. And then up again, then it came all the way down. It didn't go past that though. And then up again. So they're very clear impulsive waves when they're going up. But this is overlapping, goes down, then it goes up here, which isn't above that. It's still inside. Then up here, which is above this, but then it comes down here, which overlaps with this part. So this is not impulsive right here. This is just a confusing corrective wave, probably a B wave. And B waves can be really confusing. So keep an eye out. But if this does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fall right into my thing, I'm going to be pretty happy and proud of myself. But then it could always come back out and go down even more. So when would it be invalidated? How far would it need to come down for my count to be wrong? It would have to come down past this. If it goes below 9 cents and stays for any amount of time, really, other than a short, what are those called? A short tail, or drawing a blank. So, let's see. Yeah, if it comes down below here, then all this is wrong. And I need to recount. But we'll see. If that does happen, then this might happen, impulsive wave going back up. But I'm going to zoom back in and get back to it. Well, actually, what I wanted to talk about in the video was how to trade this. I'm trading based on the RSI. And you can see here that it went down under this line. And anything under that is the oversold, which means the momentum, it seems like too many people are selling than natural. So it blooped down to here, but it went back up on here. And it came back down even right there again, but way farther down as far as the price. Okay, but here it went back up a little, and here is, let me draw this. Where can I just, where's the pen? Brush. Okay, right there. It didn't go down as far, you see? Oh, now it's pinning me everywhere. That's annoying. Anyway, that's the one we're looking at. It went farther down here, but it went up on the RSI. So when it goes farther down, but then it starts going up like that, this is so annoying to use this brush. I don't understand why. Oh, there we go. Delete all these little dots. Okay, so I was buying there and there and there, but it went down below. You can take a little nibble here, but don't put all your money in, because look what happened. It came, everything here happened. So this right here is where you wanted to buy. Or here is even better, because look at this. It went up even more since then. So you can see how there's a trend line growing right there. See that? So if it breaks through this line, it's another signal. And I think it will. But right here, when it's bump, bump a little higher, bump a little higher, but the price is going down, down, this is where you want to take nibbles if you're buying. But then, where do you sell? You sell right there. And look, here it happened again. Right here, it went up and it crossed. Right here, it went up and crossed again. But then look, right here it went up and it went down on the RSI. So I sold some because I'm preparing to grab it back up when it drops down to however far it can go. And I'll keep an eye on this to decide. So I don't just trade off of the price. I trade from the RSI and other signals as well. Any of the signals that can help give me an idea of what the momentum is doing. Now this is all human psychology. I know it looks just like a line on a chart, but this is human psychology being played out in real time. So basically that's where you want to buy and that's where you want to sell. Buy down here under the RSI when it starts ticking back up but going down on the... Now you could do this on any different time frame. You could trade the 5-minute, 30-minute, hour, all like that, but don't switch in and out of time frames for the same trade. If you started the trade here, end the trade here, because this is the 1 minute, this is what I base it off of, so I want to stay on the 1 minute chart. And then, you know, so buy on here, that third one when it started to go up, and sell here when it started to go down, but it was going up here. Does that make sense? And, you know, you got to stay watching it. So when you're trading like that, you might want to get out of your position before you go to sleep, unless you're very sure that it's got an upward momentum, because you might wake up the next day and be upset, especially if you're a beginner and don't know and don't have a lot of experience with this, because it can get emotional when you're trying to do it in the heat of the moment. That's why I recommend starting with like $5 or something, buying fractional shares. Just play around with it, or start it on paper without using any real money. Well, that's not even real money. It's fiat currency. But anyway, that's for another story. I talk about what real money is and what fiat currency is in other videos in my investing and speculating playlist. I talked about Bitcoin, silver, and the market in general, the S&P 500. So check that out if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I make videos about health and wealth. I make health videos because I tried doing business and I was sick back in the day, and that was a fiasco, to say the least. So I think personally health is more important than wealth, because you can't spend money if you're not alive, and you can't really work when you can't get the most out of work when you're sick. Yeah, you can still show up, but you can't get as much, you're not as effective. Alrighty, that's it for today. See you in the next one. Have an amazing day on purpose. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.